Hey, good evening, everyone. Yes, that's right. It is Tuesday night. And of course, you know what that means. It is time for Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. And I know you're all excited to be here this week. We had week 2 of the NFL season this past weekend and Thursday, and it was great. But of course, I'm Nick Rosario. I'm just a guy that tries to steer the ship here. I've got my 3 fellow cohorts here to entertain, knowledge you up, and give you everything they can. So just looking at the board is going here above me. We have Tina Winter. Tina, how are you? How's it going?
I'm good.
No, that's good to hear. That's very good.
Ready to go.
Next
her energy.
Next to her up top is, of course, Delilah Crespo. Delilah, how are we doing on this fine Tuesday?
I'm good. Good to be here. This is my brain break, so I needed it.
Right. Brain break. We all need one of those every day. And, of course, the man who takes 20 brain breaks a day, Anthony Handy, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Anthony?
It's true. I really do. Like Bernie Mac said, when we break, you got to look at us because we break. You see it, Anthony? Doing good. I'm doing good. It's always a pleasure to be in the presence of such football nobility. And I am very happy. I'm very happy to be here. I do not have the trash can because I already disposed of the garbage. But I am still very happy to be here this evening.
Thank you, Akeem. We appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, listen. Okay, there it is. See, this is why I love this show. So let us get into it. Yeah, he just laughs. He's gonna laugh. Watch. Handy's gonna laugh through half the show, guys. Just keep track of that. For those of you who are watching, watch. You're gonna catch Handy smirking, laughing, trying to turn off his camera or something because he just cracks up at any moment. So let's maybe you should make a drinking game out of it. How many times does Anthony Handy smile or laugh during this show? Take a drink. We'll see how that goes. Y'all be drunk by the end of the show.
Wait a minute. I'm a very jovial fellow. I have no
problem with that. I'm just saying we can make a game out of it. Watch Anthony Handy as he smiles and laughs through an hour and a half of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. But sorry, I'm in a jovial mood myself. I'm feeling pretty good today. So, I got some sleep actually this weekend, which was phenomenal. But enough about me and enough about anything else. As always, every game starts with a coin toss. Let's get it on. All righty then. So, as you know, last week during the coin toss, we started kind of a new thing where we talked about not being a drama queen because, of course, as with any of our football teams, there's always overreactions. And this week was no different. So we thought, why not bring back the segment that a lot of people seem to like? So Don't Be a Drama Queen has returned to the coin toss. And I have a feeling that this week's gonna really blow your socks off because I feel some stuff is smoldering underneath the surface with a lot of us. And so to start with, though, I'm going to go with a guy. I want to see what he's got because I know he's probably happy that his team is 2-0. So, Handy, give us your best drama queen moment for this week. Come on, buddy. Give it to us.
Well, first of all, I don't know about nobody's smoldering socks. If your socks are smoldering, keep them on. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I'm just saying, because smoldering socks does not go well with chicken nuggets and filet of fish. Thank you very much. This has been your public service body sanitation announcement. Don't be a drama queen. I am ecstatic about the game that you mentioned, but we're gonna talk about that later in another segment. What I want to talk to, I would like to address the fans of a certain team that is about about 4.5, 5 hours southwest of here. And
here it comes. I love it.
And there's this whole thing. It's almost like the cicadas returning every 17 years, except this is annual. This is an annual cycle. And every year the football season comes and the preseason comes and they get really excited like the rest of us about the NFL season comes, and then the NFL season starts and things start to happen in a good way for this team. And the next thing you know, by week 2.5, all of their fans are buying Super Bowl champion shirts and Super Bowl champion, the little triangular banners. The people even still buy them the little banners that they put up on the wall, and they buy everything. They had Super Bowl everything to include their owner to the Dallas Cowboys fans. Looking at you, Janae. To the Dallas Cowboys fans. Looking at you, David. To Dallas Cowboys. Looking at you, Ashley. Calm down. It's just week 2. It's just week 2. I'm going to give you your props where your props are due. You looked good. You won a couple games. But what I am going to tell you is that you just need to calm down and dial it back a little bit, because you don't even know if you're going to the Super Bowl. I know my team ain't going to the Super Bowl. And that way, that's how I think every year. That way, if they get there, I'll be like, oh, wow, we really got there. Yay, team. Be ready to jump off. I am tired of every February, every January, these videos of y'all on the internet ripping your TVs off the wall that you just spent $780, beat up some old lady at Black Friday at Walmart, snatching it and trying to sneak it in your house, ripping your TVs off the wall. One dude shot his TV, another dude got drunk and his TV beat him up, and burning your jerseys. I'm tired of seeing that. Calm down. It's week 2. If you win the Super Bowl, I will clap for you and go, yeah, you did a good job. Thank you for hitting all the Cheerios and not making a mess on the floor. But it's week 2 right now. Please calm the hell down. We are tired of seeing y'all losing your minds.
Oh my God. Now see, that's what I'm talking about. That is a great way to start this segment. Thank you, Anthony, very much. I had a feeling you were going to give it to me, and you did. That's another story entirely. But anyways, Delilah, we'll go to you next, my dear. What do you got for us this week? Don't be a drama queen. Come on, give it to us.
I'm not being dramatic. It's just awful. God.
It's awful.
It's just the same old. Well, okay. Hey, backtrack. There's same old and there's not. So I don't like Luke Getsby's calls. I think Eberflus is making a lot of mistakes. He was also the one that was defensive coordinator the next game because our defensive coordinator was out sick or something. I don't know. So I don't like any of the play calling. It's awful. We paid a lot of money this offseason for an O-line. Like, Poles actually made all the right moves. Does that make sense? Like, monetarily, he didn't overpay too much. He paid the guys he was supposed to. He got the kids that we needed on defense, but also some veterans, got some veteran O-linemen, right? Like, got like pieces for Justin, and it's still like not working. And that's the part that doesn't make sense. So obviously it has to be coaching. What else could it be? If you're not actually doing what you're supposed to do when you have this, especially like we've ruined Justin Fields. Like this organization ruins quarterbacks, at least for the past like forever, right? We ruined Mitch
forever.
And then for 2 seasons, we saw this young kid who we're excited about, right? Come out and like get busted up for 2 seasons. Wasn't developed. We know that, right? Wasn't developed, wasn't coached, wasn't given anything. And then we throw him out there finally. And of course he looks awful. Of course he looks bad. Of course he can't read a defense to save his life. He ran into a sack. He held on to the ball and ran into a sack. Did everybody see that? So like,
yes, we saw that.
So like that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think Poles got his wish. Remember, he didn't pick Justin, and I think this is what he wanted was like, listen, we're gonna give you your season because I didn't pick you, but I don't want people to say that I was being like whatever. but this gives him the reason to trade him for picks now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he continues to play as atrociously as he is, which I do feel like, again, I feel that a lot of that's on us and the coaches that we put around him that really didn't take the time that they needed with him at all whatsoever. And so I think that that's really what Foles was waiting for. And so now he gets to go and pick the quarterback he wants. I will remind everyone that he picked Mahomes and we didn't when he was with Kansas City. Like, people forget that. People forget that was Foles' part. He also built KC. KC wasn't great all the time. You know, they had their slumps. So again, he's bringing that energy over here, but he didn't get the quarterback that he wanted. You know, and so, yeah, no, I still think I'm not saying he's great, but I do. The Bears have never been, in our history, right? We've never been known for quarterbacks ever. Like, even Jim McMahon was okay. He was serviceable. We got us to the Super Bowl. We got to win. But no, why do you think he's not in the Hall of Fame? Every other Bears on the 85 team, almost every single Bears on the 85 team, right, that went to the Super Bowl, and so many after are in the Hall of Fame. Not Jim McMahon, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. We've never in the history of our organization have been known for that. But Green Bay has been dogging us for years, right? They are known as quarterback university. Does that make sense? Like that Bart Starr, who got them the most Super Bowls, right? We know that, right? Started with him. Then came, Mr. Brett Favre. I know it's not Favre.
Favre.
So, came in, got another Super Bowl, beat up on us. Right after him, Aaron Rodgers, right? And now we have Jordan Love, who, even though, again, I know that he lost to Atlanta, but he had a good game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we have never been known for that. So I'm really hoping that with Foles and with the new direction of the modern NFL, right? It's a passing league now, right? All this other stuff that we keep saying, that I'm hoping that he can finally transition us into having that kind of mentality, right? Like, and the best quarterback we've had, by the way, is not Mitch. It was Jay Cutler. By the numbers. That's just sheer numbers. Just so you know, our most successful quarterback by sheer numbers was Jay Cutler. That's out there. Those are facts. So he wasn't Mitchie, and Mitchie had his problems. So I'm hoping that Foles can get what he wants. This is his out. He'll trade Justin Fields. Justin Fields will go on to be a backup quarterback somewhere, and he'll get the guy he wants and whatever system that he wants to try to implement here. We've never been known as a football, organization either, because Virginia was 110 already, right? She never passed on the reins. So now we're hoping that new everything can kind of change that, and we can actually operate as a football team. So yeah, now I gotta sit through another season of awfulness. But I really do hope that with Foles, and now he'll be able to do what he wants, fire the people that he wants, and get the quarterback that he wants. Anyway, so that's my rant. That's my drama. And I am not being a drama. Those are all facts.
Yes, Anthony, you have something to rebut or say? What is it?
I just had a couple of questions. You said he ran into a sack, Your Honor. Is that what you?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, she said that.
I'm reading this off the court report. So it says he ran in. You know what? I would like to, Your Honor, as people's evidence number one, submit that Justin Fields is not an African-American male, because most African-American men tend to go the other way when it's a butt whooping coming. He ran right into, he saw it. He saw him. He knew he was there. So he knew he was there. And he, instead of trying to go around him, over him, or just lay down and say, I'm down. He ran right into his arms, like Baby ran into Patrick Swayze's arms in the movie when he held her up in the air.
That one, sure.
And then, Dirty Dancing. And then the second one, and then question number two.
No, we put Baby in the corner.
Question number two, Your Honor. You said that he would be able to use whatever pick he wanted. He'd use that pick to get the quarterback he wanted. I just need a little clarification. I need a little clarification on that pick. Is it an ice pick or a lock pick? Maybe Is it might be because man, Afro. I'm a little preferential to an Afro pick. I hadn't used one in a long time. I don't know if y'all can tell, but or maybe even a toothpick. I'm curious. Like inquiring minds want to know what's going on with this pick. I got nothing further, Your Honor. That's it. The people rest.
Holtz gets his shot now because that was the old guard before they moved on. So now he gets that's basically what but who knows? We'll see. But anyway.
No, that's very actually, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Delilah. That was a very interesting take. I didn't think you were gonna go that way. So that's something
because I just use it for me. I'm heated.
No, I don't. I'm saying I didn't think you were gonna quite go that way. So now you got me on that one. I'm not gonna lie. You surprised me with that one. But let us move on to the lady who I know has been chomping at the bit since like the other day when we were talking about this. So, all right, Tina, the floor is yours. Go ahead. Do your worst. Let's hear it.
So last week, I complained about the kicker. This week, the kicker was the only one that was good. I'm literally going through the list. Is there a part of the team that was good? And it's like, well, we got Russell playing Jekyll and Hyde. First half, he's like throwing balls like nobody's business to all the freaking rookies everywhere. And then the second half, he decides to sit there and watch a fumble be taken from him. Good Lord. Now, oh, Lord. I'm not even going to go into the bad refereeing because that's just a given part of the whole thing because it was bad on both sides. There's DPIs being called when there's no DPI and not being called when there is DPI. And geez almighty, to quote Bobby Singer to every one of the Winchester boys, I want to pull Kareem Jackson, get him right in the face and say, you idiot! You just got called for that last week. What the bleep are you doing? Lord almighty. Now, we can get into whether it was clean or not or all that. That's a completely different thing. He knew. He knows they're going to watch. He knows the refs are going to call that. It's going to happen. He's lucky he didn't get suspended. Because if he did, then my entire secondary is literally docked, as my autocorrect on my phone would say. Oh, good Lord. Defense. What the fuck happened? Last week, you kept Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, one of the best running backs in the league. To 19 attempts for 48 yards. 48 yards. This week, Brian Robinson runs for 87 yards against 2 fucking TDs. Not even counting all the wide receivers that got in. Oh, my God. Offensive line. I'm not calling him McClinchy anymore. He's now McFlinchy. He couldn't stay still. He's lucky he didn't get called for 2 encroachments. They called one of those on a defensive guy, which there was no movement on our line. So, again, we're back to the bad refereeing there. Oh, my God. I could keep going. I could keep going. But my biggest thing about all of this is
I'm not stopping you.
No, I know you're not. As you can tell, I'm fired. I'm to the point where I think I'm going to get a shirt that says put in Stidham and get rid of Wilson on the back because I am so done with Wilson. I have tried to understand it. I've tried to get him, blah, 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 blah. I'm honestly to the point where I think Pete Carroll is a used car salesman who sold us a lemon because he knew Wilson couldn't fucking do a check down to save his life. And I hate Pete Carroll with every fiber of my being. Little dumb bozo with his smile and his perfect hair and everything. Oh, Lord. He ran before he got indicted or got suspended or whatever they do with the NCAA thing. Okay, I'm done. I think.
Okay, are you sure?
Oh, and just to add on to kind of like what Delilah was saying, it's the offensive line. Our offensive line was not gelling. They were not keeping that pocket open long enough for Russell to even get to his second lead, if he could make a read, to be able to throw the ball. But that Hail Mary he made, Lord, I've never been so shocked in my life. And then I was sitting there like, oh my God, we might be able to tie this, and then the referees yanked the rug out from underneath me. So, Delilah, part of your problem with Fields is your offensive line. Now, here it is. We took two of the guys you guys wanted to have too.
Yeah.
Not helping us.
Yeah, I don't know because yes and no because this is where Ben was right. He held on to the ball for like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and so his O-line actually in this game really was doing their job. But at the same time, who calls for a screenplay in the 5-yard? Who calls for a screenplay in the 5-yard line? And you're telling me that's not coaching?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's a screenplay gonna
Oh, I mean,
do? It's a
thanks,
5-yard
Joseph.
line. So I get you, but I wish I could blame the whole O-line on this one.
Oh Lord, I'm sweating. I'm sorry. I got a little heated there.
Not this game. Not this game. I can't blame the O-line for this one.
Ladies.
Well, I'm with you, Tina. Though I would have been hella upset too. I would have been like, if I were you for that.
And the thing is, last week I was upset at the game because we lost by 1, and then I was fine the next day. I was okay after the game. Not happy, but okay. It was the next morning. I was like, I'm done with Wilson. Like I said, put in Stidham. I don't care. Blow the team up. Let's
Who's
go.
in there now? Who's her backup? I forgot.
Jason Stidham. They brought him over from the Raiders.
Yeah,
that's Sean Payton's guy.
The bald guy with the British accent that beats people up in the Expendables. I didn't even know.
No, that's not Jason Statham. Jared Stidham, right?
Okay.
I
get a quote of a movie that Handy and I were quoting. I feel like right now I am Benny from the movie going, "You're on the wrong side of the river."
I love that movie.
Alrighty, there you go.
I would love to point out the complete and total dichotomy between the two ladies as they went on their rants. Delilah was all calm. Delilah was very calm, like a woman that knew that the wine that her cheating boyfriend / husband just drank had something in it. They were gonna make him sleep for a real long time. And Tina, on the other hand, was like Jack Nicholson chopping the door down in The Shining. Like, here's Johnny. Like, just
different approaches. Nothing wrong with that. They're both great.
Dichotomy.
Absolutely. Hey, I loved every minute of it. I thought it was great. So,
I did too. Tina, I thought Tina,
my friends will tell you if I'm quiet, you're worse off.
Tina,
there you go. I believe that. That I believe for a lot of women. When they don't say nothing, you need to really be scared then, my friend. That's when you need to start shaking in the boots. When they don't say anything, then you go, all right, something's up here and I don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Fellas,
just my experience, of course, but that's all. I'm gonna stick to that. But that's all I'm saying.
Fellas, what Nick just said, write that down and put it on your refrigerator, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it in the rearview mirror of your car. Make it a daily affirmation on your phone.
Right. When you quiet, watch out.
As a man who has been married 29 years between multiple marriages, if you walk in your house and you realize 2 or 3 hours have passed and you have not heard from or seen your significant other anywhere in the house, and they're not sleeping and they're not out of the house, just go ahead and pack yourself a bag and get a room somewhere because you are in trouble.
There you go. All right. So, as we all know, I went on a little tangent last week about a lot of things. It's okay. I'm about to go on another one. I don't know where this is going to take me, but I'm going to go on it. So, I listened to what Delilah said because, like I said, I didn't think she was going to go that way. So I was really listening to what she had to say. And again, I get all her points and I understand. And that my overreaction was kind of like that too. Initially was like, you know what? I'm really disgusted with this whole thing. Just blow the whole damn thing up. Just do it. Like that was my overreaction for sure. Because paint this picture, if you will. I'm sitting at my father's 70th birthday lunch, but I'm watching the game on my phone. And at one point, I'm sitting there. There's 25 people there celebrating my father, and I'm in the corner screaming at a damn phone about what the Bears are doing. Okay, because then, and my dad even said, "Hey, what's the score?" So I'm giving him updates, as we're partying and whatever. And it's like, I just keep getting more and more disgusted. I literally just turned my phone off in the third quarter at one point because I didn't want to see it anymore. All right. There was so many things wrong with Sunday's game. Yes, Justin Fields looks like he's regressed. I don't know what the hell the last 2 weeks has been, but I mean, I wanted to go out there and just smack him around and go, dude, what are you doing? Because here's one of the things, too, that I noticed kind of watching the game. It looked like there were times that Justin changed the play, and then all of a sudden we'd get like a false start penalty or something on the offensive line, and you go, what the hell are you doing? Now, here's the thing. If you're going to allow Justin the freedom to do that, this is where practice comes in. This has always been kind of my argument for preseason helps with crap like this because you get familiar with your line. The line gets familiar with when you're going to call an audible or what you might change to. But when you play one quarter of one freaking game in the preseason and they throw it in the last game for the hell of it, what are you doing? You are not doing anything. You guys look worse than you did last year, and I don't think that was humanly possible. I mean, that game Sunday was so winnable, it wasn't even funny. And then it's not just that you threw a screenplay on the 8-yard line. You did the same thing the play before. It was the same damn play. What are you doing? And yes, Justin is holding on to the ball a little too long. And yes, there's been a popular meme on Facebook all day about, oh, look at the guy who's wide open while Justin falls into a sack. Like, I've been seeing that damn thing all day from everyone. Then do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to go into work on a Tuesday like I did this morning, and all my coworkers who are Bears fans want to give me crap about everything that's happened so far in the first 2 weeks? Do you think that's fun? No, it's not fun. You know why it's not fun? Because I'm at work, and I don't want to be aggravated at work. But you bring it up because this is what happens every Sunday. Do you know, for those of you who may not know this particular stat, currently in the NFL, we have the longest losing streak. It's at 13 games. We haven't won a game in 13 freaking games. Are you serious? And yes, Ben, I saw your little – what, Anthony, what? What? Say it. Come on, talk. Let's go. Say it.
I asked because I wanted you to say it again. I'm the hype man. How many games?
You know what? No. I don't need no hype man, bro. I'm hyped. Trust me. You don't even want to know what I really. I refrain, and I'm not mad at Tina for swearing, but I'm trying real hard to refrain because I'll probably get canceled if I say what I really want to say. So I'm trying to bite my tongue here, okay? Because this shit is not working. Pardon the language. It's not working. And it's really embarrassing only from the standpoint of you don't look – there are some play like Cole Kmet looked entirely lost this past Sunday, and he couldn't have blocked Delilah and Tina. He really, and no offense to you ladies, I know you're strong, but there's no way. Like, he literally, like, you're like, Cole, what are you doing, bro? Like, would you throw a block on someone? Would you pretend like you're supposed to turn around and hit a guy and then try to run out for a pass? Like, at least make it look like you know what you're doing. He looked so lost that entire game, like he didn't know what the hell was going on. And and we just gave him all this big money, right? We gave him a new contract. Cole's set for another 3-4 years. And nothing. It's frustrating beyond belief. Bears haven't won a regular season game. Wow. Thanks, Ben. No, Anthony, how long till you start writing letters to your family? Wow. Right. Damn. Man, well, again, thanks everyone for watching. We do appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. I've seen Alex, Sean. Who else is in the comments? Ben. Like, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Who else is out there? But again, it's just frustrating to watch. And my overreaction is definitely that. Like, I don't disagree. In some way, I don't disagree with Delilah said. Because you know what? Maybe this is exactly what Ryan Poles wanted. Maybe he figured, you know what? I'm not sold on Justin, but I got him. Let's put him in. I mean, you don't even know. I mean, I don't say he's trying to sabotage the guy. But, I mean, good Lord. Like you said, the play calling is atrocious. Justin Kidd doesn't know when to run, doesn't want to run anymore, doesn't know when to throw the ball or taking sacks like that is ridiculous. Like, I mean, my goodness, man, I get it. Maybe last year you ran more out of necessity, but damn, dude, you can take off anytime. Like, what are you doing standing in the pocket? Like, all of a sudden you're the greatest pocket passer in the world, dude. Your O-line isn't good enough for you to be a pocket passer right now. You need to get the hell out of there, bro, and do something. I'm just being honest. Like, that offensive line is not great. I mean, yes, they're trying. I'll give them that. Like I said, they were trying to do their job on Sunday. But my God, man, they're not there yet. You can't be a pocket passer with a line that's going to collapse. You just can't. Move, play action, anything. I don't even care. Design run, any kind of run. I don't care if it's a busted play. Just stop standing in there and letting people hit you. Stop that now. That's all I got to say about that. All right. I'm good. I'm done. Let us move on. Got a lot of show left. Appreciate everybody. Like I said in the comments, thank everyone for their takes. And was Handy hiding behind a chair? What the hell happened? Where'd he go?
Is it safe to come out yet?
Yes, Dorothy. The house landed on the witch already. Come on out. You're good. Absolutely.
I said, man, I'm gonna be your hype man. I don't need no goddamn hype man. Okay. My bad, bro.
I love you, Handy. You know I do. But today I didn't need any. Believe me. Yes, Sean. I will take a hug, Sean. We'll hug on Friday. It's okay. But yeah,
We'll hug it out then.
I'm good. As I said, I'm done. I took my breath. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. We got more shows.
Got it
We're gonna
all
move on. So to that end, we're gonna go on to the next segment, which is a little more pleasant, and it's a segment we all like. So we're gonna go to the softer tones right now, Delilah Crespo, for this week in NFL history. Take it away, Delilah. Here we go.
I never realized how short that.
Maybe we need to make you a longer intro, right? Maybe we should get you a little longer intro, just so you have a couple seconds to drink your water.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, here we go. This week, these few days, it's really a few days. If I did a whole week, it'd be crazy. All right, but I think, this just happened to pop up in my, looking at, NFL history, and I'm sure Sean will appreciate this one. Sometimes they just kind of work out. So, on September 16th, so we're going back a few days, 1937, the then Washington Redskins franchise played its first game in Washington, D.C. at the old Griffith Stadium. In a game, they defeated the New York Giants 13-3. The franchise actually had its start in Boston, Massachusetts in 1932 under the guise of the Boston Braves after George Preston Marshall established the franchise and purchased the right to play in the NFL. George was a larger-than-life showman type guy, basic attention seeker. He named the team after the Boston Braves baseball team at the time. But after very little support in that area, he decided to change things up. Prior to the 1933 season, the nickname was changed to at that time, the Redskins, to give his team their own identity. The team had limited success in Boston and didn't get a lot of support from the community. Because of that, they basically were really all about the hockey team at that time. That's who they were obsessed with. So he was infuriated by this. So Marshall was like, I'm out of here. Decided to change his surroundings and moved the team to the nation's capital, which changed the course of the franchise as they were crowned the NFL champions in their inaugural year in DC. This 1937 team was led by a rookie quarterback, Slingy Sammy Bowe. And the Redskins were the champs once again in 1942 and have also been victorious in Super Bowls. Has also been successful in Super Bowls as well. So again, guess they didn't do well in Boston, moved to DC and the air change, and that's how they started winning all those games and getting championships and had a whole city and town behind them. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, I know he was. I know. Sadly, yes. As were so many showmen of the time. You're 100%, Sean. But yes, he 100% was. So adding to that, he fought integration. It was because of him that previously, remember I talked about all the black quarterbacks that were actually involved. It was already integrated, and he hated that. And he was one of the men that led to the segregation again and kicked out black quarterbacks and black players from the NFL. Sorry, that wasn't part of this, but Sean was right. I just saw him in the comments. Okay, so also on September 16th, 1950, the Cleveland Browns played their first regular season game as part of the NFL. Remember, I talked about a few times I've mentioned the AFL, right? All these different conferences and things like that. So Cleveland Browns started with the All-American Football Conference, where they started playing in 1946. Cleveland businessman Arthur McBride purchased and created the franchise, and they had almost immediate success. The Browns dominated the AAFC, and something that this was the main reason for the conference's demise and closure after the 1949 season ended. 3 teams from the former AAFC moved into the NFL in 1950: the Browns, the Baltimore Colts, and the San Francisco 49ers. The early Cleveland Brown teams were talented and had great players such as Marion Motley, Otto Graham, and Lou Groza on their roster. The schedule makers wanted to show the dominance of the NFL, so they scheduled the Browns, champs of the AAFC in 1949, to open up against the 1949 Philadelphia Eagles, who were the reigning title holders of the NFL in 1949. The NFL expected the Browns to struggle when they entered the league in 1950, but man, were they wrong. The Cleveland squad, in fact, crushed the Philly Eagles to a score of 35-10. So this is when the Browns, people were happy about the Browns back in the day, and they actually won some championships. So no Super Bowl wins, but they were a tough team, and I'm sure everybody wishes the Browns could go back to that era, right? But they actually were formidable, and so they did win a lot of championships pre Super Bowl. Anyway, so 2 teams, right? 2 teams we kind of learned about a little bit more in the NFL. One that was born and kind of moved, and then of course again Cleveland in 1950, who was around a little longer, but then moved to the NFL. And 1917, 1920, I mentioned this last year. This is just the anniversary of the NFL. This is when the NFL was born. Not the modern NFL, but the beginning of the NFL league at Ralph Hayes Pupmobile Showman in Canton, Ohio. So that's basically kind of where it started. Each team at the time, as I mentioned last year, chipped in $100. So that's how the NFL was born. Which $100 in 1920, that's a lot of money. So I just want to throw that out there. There's $100, but it was 1920 $100. So even then, you had to be like filthy rich to own, professional teams. And then the last thing, September 18, 1938, a huge defensively dominated game between, guess who? Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. And you know how defensively heavy that game won? The Chicago Bears actually, in this time, 1938, beat the Green Bay Packers by a safety, 2-0. 2-0.
Wow.
Yeah, 2-0.
Say what?
During a downpour. Apparently, it was a downpour. The Browns were sloppy. Yeah, people missed field goals. The score happened on the second play of the fourth, quarter stanza. Obviously, you referenced him. When the Bears guard Tom Jones jumped on an errant backwards pass by Packers Arnie Herbert for the 2-pointer. So it was just chance, and it was a messy game. Can you imagine? People complain now when we have these defensive games, right? Can you imagine sitting through this game and it's 2-0?
There would be nothing but television. It'd be television footage of people sleeping in the stands.
Right.
Anyway,
I was excited to hear Tom Jones play football.
Yeah, no, right?
Just kidding.
But what's
It's
new?
not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Right?
Yeah.
He calling the signals. What's new,
Right.
Pussycat? 180.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Some good stuff, kind of popped up there. So it was good. I found some good information on, for this week's episode. So I was happy to find a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Whoa, Delilah. Right? Tom Jones. Delilah.
Yeah.
Sing
Oh
some
yeah, I hear
Delilah.
that
Oh,
one all
nice.
I hear that one all the time by all the old timers.
Right.
Good
Yeah,
pull there.
you
I
gotta love
like
Tom
that.
Jones. Regardless if you played football or saying, Tom Jones was great. Either way.
Anyway, so that's it. There you have it. This day in NFL history. Some good, some bad, some good with bad. You know, that's just history, right? In
That's
a
right.
nutshell.
That's why it's history, baby. It's not always great, but it's history. Unfortunately, right. But thank you, Delilah, for that. We appreciate that. So we're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back in just a few. Thanks.
We are back for Bo.
He's a rookie. He's also half Puerto Rican. I don't know if y'all.
You already know what time it is. Super excited. Beautiful lady.
Right. History.
That someone like Hayden Hurst is coming out, and I feel like you're not alone. On our show too, as well, we're all about mental health and awareness.
Yes.
Off and on the field.
Yeah, all right. That, of course, is Ladies Takeover Show on Thursday evenings at what time, Delilah?
8 p.m. Eastern.
All right, 8 p.m. Eastern, so 7 p.m. Central, 5 Mountain Pacific. Thank you very much. Oh, so let's go on to our next segment of the show. Of course, this one is a newer, obviously, to our show, but I think it's in the first 2 weeks we've learned a lot from her, so hopefully we get some more good stuff this week. Here is Tina Winter with The Corner Office. Take it away, Tina. All righty. Go ahead, Tina. Take it away.
Well, as like one of my favorite guys on TikTok talks about the top 3 dogs of the week, I'm going to talk about the top 3 corners of the week. And number 1 is Lattimore with the New Orleans Saints. He has 5 pass deflections. He's had 1 interception. He has 0 yards and 0 TDs. In 2 is Slay from the Eagles. We all know that lovely interception and run he had last week that went for 70 yards in the game. He also has 4 pass deflections. And then this was the interesting thing that I found. There are 14 people tied for 3rd place according to ESPN stats. 10 of those are cornerbacks. So to lead into it, I could have picked any one of them, but I decided that it's going to kind of lead into my second part of this, which is, so we're going to talk about Rasul, and if I butchered his name, I am so sorry to Packer fans. Well, maybe not. Douglas, who has 3 pass deflections, 1 interception. He's also had 10 solo tackles and 2 assists. So those are the top 3 corners of the week. And just for a little information from last week's game that I know Sean and I were interested in, Pat Surtain and Forbes were also one of those 10 cornerbacks who tied for 3rd. It's a crazy stat. Like 10 cornerbacks all had on the exact same number of pass deflections. So, okay. I'm going to make this one a little bit easier. That's my segue into the question that Scott Thaler had last week about the Packers ownership and whether or not the town members who have a stock in the Packers organization would be considered owners or not. So in the comments, I said, no, they would not be considered an owner according to the NFL. And that's true. That is it. They would not be considered owners. But I did a little deep diving and I got some information for you. Okay, so first of all, the Green Bay Packers are the only nonprofit, community-owned major league franchise. No other franchise has this type of ownership. Now, the interesting thing is that no other NFL will ever have this type of ownership because it was grandfathered in 1980 when they changed the rules as to what ownership can be. And now under the rules for the NFL, the most owners you can have is 32. And one owner has to own at least 30% or more of the stake in the team. So that's why I kind of mentioned in the comments, like there was a discussion about doing crypto, like all of the Bronco fans getting together to do crypto and raise money to buy the team for ourselves. It would not be allowed. It wouldn't pass the test to be able to be an owner. But so here's the question. Why aren't the Packer fans or the people of Green Bay considered to be an owner? Well, first of all, I don't know if anyone knows about corporate stock ownership, so I'm going to explain that really quickly. In normal corporations, you have what's called common stock and premium stock. Common stock is usually what a lot of us have if we have 401ks or investing in stocks. If you have premium stock, or that's where the real money is the best way I can put it. The common stock has less voting rights. You're not able to be on the board, et cetera, et cetera. You can still bring lawsuits for stockholder lawsuits and things like that, but your rights aren't as much as someone who has premium stock in a company. So this is kind of where the Packers Township is at too. They do get one share of stock, but there are over 537,000 shares of stock in the Packers organization. And only one person, you can't own more than 200,000 shares at any one time, and nobody owns that much. So the way those shares work is you don't include equity in the company. So it's not, you can't put a lien on it, you can't mortgage it, you can't do anything like that. There are no dividends, you don't get any money. It can't be traded on the stock market. There are no security law protections. So under normal corporate law, if you have a share in stock and it goes under, there's some wrongdoing that the board has done, you as a stockholder have protections under the securities law to be able to bring a stockholder suit. Can't do that with the Packers. And it doesn't there's no season ticket purchase privileges with that stock or that one ownership that you have. You can't resell your ticket except back to the team for a discounted amount. And you can give new shares as gifts, but it can only be to immediate family members. So all those things that I've started listing, those are the reasons why I say they are not owners under the gambling laws. They can do whatever they want to do because as far as I'm concerned, it's just a nice piece of paper to hang up on your wall and say, hey, I own a stock of the Packers, because they don't have any voting rights. The Packers organization itself is led by 7 members of an executive committee, and those members change in and out as needed. So it's one of those that it's a nice little tidbit to say you own part of a company, but they really don't in my book. So there we are, Packers ownership and what it really is.
Nice. Thank you very much, Tina, for that. We do appreciate that, because I would have never known any of that. Nor, to be honest, I would have never taken time to research any of that. So that's why I really appreciate what you do. Because I would have never taken the time to look all that up and been like, and I'm going to show you this. No, I have no idea what we're talking about. I can't do it. But and again, thank you all in the comments. I've seen Alex, I've seen Sean, I've seen Ben, I'm not sure who Facebook user is, but thank you all for watching. Alex Loosemore was in there too. Appreciate you guys all watching. We're going to move on now to our Moments of the Week segment, and this is our own whatever we liked, disliked, was excited about, or whatever have disappointed about. Our Moments of the Week is now, and we're going to change it up a little bit. We'll start with Mr. Handy up in the corner there for the block. Handy, what do you got for us on the old Moment of the Week? Oh, he's muted. Turn your mic on, sir. You're a professional. You should know this. Turn on your microphone. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
I haven't said anything.
Well, there you go. It looked like you were moving your mouth. What are you, a mime? Or, a ventriloquist? I didn't hear anything. Saw your mouth moving. Didn't hear anything. Just saying. Were you trying to throw your voice at Tina or Delilah or me or something? You're trying to see if we would talk? I don't know. I figured I was doing there, bro. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Earlier in the show, you're nut. Earlier in the show, you asked me, you told me, I know you're excited about your Falcons. You damn right I'm excited about my Falcons. The Falcons, I think the last time the Falcons finished the season with a winning record, they started 2-0. No, it was. I forgot what the statistic was. It had something to do with them going to the playoffs, and I don't want to misspeak, but if I remember correctly, it was something about the last time the Falcons started the season 2-0 and beat the Packers was the last time they made the playoffs. Not the last time they made the playoffs. Of course, they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but they started the season 2-0 and they beat the Packers. And the Packers. While I thought the Packers had our number, I honestly knew very little about the series between these two, but it's actually closer. Okay, if you had to guess, which team would you say held the edge?
I want to go with the Falcons just for the hell of it, by a slight margin. Why not?
Ladies, either of you want to venture a guess?
I'll go Packers.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt my soul to say that.
Yeah, it actually is the Packers, but their lead is not as large as one would think, because most of the people have been following football. Younger fans, have had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers to look at as examples. But it's actually 19-16 with this win. This past Sunday, the series is 19-16 in favor of the Packers, and it's a good back and forth. Like we win 3 or 4, and then the Packers win 3 or 4. So it's a lot of good give and take. But I'm very excited to see the Falcons start the season off like this, because the Falcons normally limp out of the gate, and then remember somewhere around week 6 or 7 or something, they're supposed to actually play football. And then try and play some decent football, and by then it's too. They realize, you know what, we too late. We're not going. It's almost like the Falcons. The Falcons remind me of I don't know if y'all saw in the track and field world championships where the lady volunteered to run the hurdles so her team wouldn't forfeit. That's how the Falcons are today. Well, the Falcons are like, we ain't gonna win this race. We just gonna limp our way into the finish line. So I'm very excited for it, and I'm looking forward to more of it. And again, I'm gonna have to find me a place to go watch the doggone games, because I'm not spending any extra money. There's already too much money being put out to watch all the TV stations we got. I'm gonna find some place to go watch the Falcons play, so I can actually see them play on Sunday.
There you go. All right, very good. We got a Cincinnati team that lost to the Alabama and the Chip. And there goes Sean Spencer with another tidbit from the old college ranks. Yes. Cincinnati did lose to Alabama, Sean. You are 100% correct. And what are you going to do, though? Cincinnati was outmanned and outnumbered in that game. It just wasn't going to happen. But, Delilah, we'll go next to you. Any favorite moments, bad moments, sad moments? Give us what you got for this week.
I think I said everything I had to say earlier. But my best moment was, again, thank you to the Dirty Birds. That was a good game. That was actually fun to watch, to be honest. Even if it was a, Green Bay game. But it was fun because it was actually some back and forth, it was actually exciting to watch. And your team came through, so thank you. And then everyone lost last week in our division, the NFC North. We officially suck.
Yes.
As a division overall.
That is correct.
I know last year.
I agree with that statement, right?
I think last year we were like, we knew we were taking over for the NFC least, right? But we know we can't make fun of them anymore because now they're winning games. You know what I'm saying? So and so I feel like no, we got that mantle. But yeah, everyone in our division lost. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. I was actually surprised. I was rooting for Detroit. That was a great game. Honestly, I was surprised by that. that turn of events. To be honest, I really thought Detroit had that game. So I was surprised by that. But yeah, so everybody lost. So thank you to Atlanta for winning last Sunday. That's the moment.
there you go. All right, Tina, we'll jump to you next. Moments from this past week.
So as much as I ranted earlier, there was one bright shining moment, or a couple, but my favorite was a 45-yard punt return from Mr. Mims Jr. from Oklahoma, who then also his first pass in the NFL was a 50-yard pass from Russell Wilson for a touchdown. So our little rookies turning out to be, I think, might be kind of good. Now, I was also upset that he disappeared in the second half, but what can I do? I'm not Sean Payton. I'm not the one making decisions as the coach. So, but I really did enjoy that. I like that. And we also did have another rookie who scored another touchdown, which is McLaughlin. He was our little undrafted guy. He ran a TD, and so there were some bright spots. Like Sean said earlier, Russell, by the stats, had one of his best games. It's just most of it was in the first half. So, all right, I'm done. But go Mims, Oklahoma. I guess I'm an Oklahoma fan now.
There you go. Sooner or later that was bound to happen. But I'm bummed. Anywho, I digress. Bad joke aside. Well, there was a couple for me only because I actually yesterday was able to watch some of the Monday night games, and I saw somebody just put up in the comment section, yeah, watching Nick Chubb injure the same knee he injured in college, just a sad moment of this past week. Yeah,
it was in the
like
opposite
that.
direction.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you look at the two hits, right, when they show it, you're like, oh my God, that in college he bent it one way, and then yesterday he bent it the other way, and you just go, oh my goodness, this poor kid. Obviously, he's out for the season. Very sad to see for Nick Chubb. Another moment that actually, for me, kind of solidifies in terms of defenses in the NFL. I think the Steelers have a legit defense. Not that I didn't think the Steelers had a good defense, but I thought they really gave the Browns fits yesterday. I know the Browns managed to score 22 points, but there was a lot to that Steelers defense yesterday. And the defense is basically the reason they won that game. The pick six and all the other things that went on, fumble, all that. Like Pittsburgh showed me a little something yesterday defensively that I went, man, if they could get that offense going, Steelers might be somebody to tangle with this year because that defense looks pretty good. That was a moment for me to see. And again, obviously we know about my Bears, Delilah's Bears. We kind of crapped the bed again, 0-2. Like I said, the only saving grace was that everybody else in the division lost. So technically, right as of this point, we're only one game out of the division lead. Even though I know we're going to go 0-3 playing Kansas City next week, I just feel like I have to try to get some kind of saving grace out of this weekend. And the only thing I could come up with was that everybody else in the division lost, and we're technically only a game out of first. So there you go. There's my silver lining. I'm going to stick with it for now because next week I'll probably be on here crying about we're 0-3 and we're never going to win another game ever. So, yeah. So that's all I have. So thank you very much for all those moments of the week. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Thank you, guys. All right. Of course, that was a commercial for the NFC Takeover or NFC South. Sorry, Takeover show. More information on when you might be able to find that at a later time. But let us get back into what we're doing here. The next segment, of course, belongs to Mr. Chicken Nugs for dinner and a fillet of fish. Give me back the fillet of fish. Give me that fish. What?
Wait a minute. You had to watch this. It's almost like follow the bounce of the ball dinner and a fillet of fish. Dinner. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's like, yeah, he gonna keep going. Just hit the button. Play the segment. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, you see the name right there. We're here to talk about Mr. John Mechie III, who technically is not a rookie because he was actually drafted in the 2022 draft. But he decided to forego his rookie season when he tore his ACL during the SEC championship game that season. Now, that was the year, of course, some other team from somewhere wound up winning the national championship. But yeah, okay, yeah, I was gonna throw that out there. But had a tremendous year, an absolutely tremendous year. And just a little background on this guy. Born in Taiwan. Oh, wow. How about this for a background? To a Nigerian father and a Taiwanese mother. So he's part Taiwanese and part Nigerian. He did spend some time in Ghana and then grew up in Ontario, Canada with his mother and 4 brothers. Then he wound up moving to the United States. He wound up playing a little high school ball in Hagerstown, Maryland. Then he went to a special postgraduate school in Hightstown, New Jersey, before he committed to play ball at the University of Alabama. Something about Alabama, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, jump off track just for a little bit. Alabama has a knack for picking up these guys that have some special kind of talent. If you remember, last week we talked about Will Anderson Jr., also a product of Tuscaloosa. Just like Will Anderson Jr., this guy got playing time immediately as a freshman. He played the entire season, all 13 games in 2019. He had 4 catches for 23 yards, which not a whole heck of a lot, but Nick Saban definitely liked what he saw. Then by the time his sophomore year rolled around, he was in the rotation as one of the top 3 receivers. Wound up that year, the production increased like crazy. 916 yards total that year with 6 touchdowns. The following year, 1,142 yards with 8 touchdowns. He wound up finishing his career at Alabama with over 2,000 yards receiving and 14 touchdowns, with the longest reception being 78 yards. As we mentioned, he did get injured in the 2021 SEC championship game, so we saw no more play from him following that game or moving on into the combine. All he could do just was get his measurables, but yet and still, he was drafted by the Houston Texans in the second round. He was selected 44th overall, so he was still selected really high. And what does that tell you about this guy? This guy is 5'11". He's about 187 pounds. We don't have any speed clocked on him. We don't have any 40-yard times on him from the combine. But I watched this kid play specifically because he played in the conference that I watched the most out of any college football. Fast, able to change directions almost on a dime, run just about any route. You want to out and go, you want to slant, you want to post corner, whatever you want, this kid can run it. And not only can he do that, and we have a clip here that I'm going to put up. Not only can he catch, this kid can put the hit stick down. Now, if you don't remember who exactly John Mechie is because you haven't seen him play in a while, there was a game, and they were playing some team from south of Georgia, and they wear these ugly orange helmets, and they fancy themselves to be reptiles of some sort. And an interception took place on the play. And John Mechie definitely disrupted that play. You know what? I was so busy looking at the camera, I didn't even know if that clip came up while I was talking.
No, I didn't do that.
Huh?
I didn't do that to you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if we could have that, if we could run that clip,
Sure.
I'm just gonna let you see for yourself here. Boom, laid him out. Not only, and wait a minute, one more time for the people. Did you hear me? I said lay down. And give me that ball while you're at it. That was kind of the play. It kind of was for me. I kind of call that his Jadeveon Clowney moment. That's kind of funny. That will always forever be, anytime you see somebody have a big hit like that, it's always going to be, to those new fans of football, the Jadeveon Clowney moment, even though he's not a defensive player. That was his big wow moment. Not so much for me, because I'd been following him, but there were a lot of people that really didn't know who he was. It was like, who the hell was that little kid that just took that dude's ice cream and his Jordans? Like, give me your ice cream and your Jordans. Oh, my bad. They jump mans. I'm going to take them anyway. Oh, no, these ain't even jump mans. These them Stephon Marbury's, but you ain't getting them back. Like, that's just how he did him on national television. And so looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table. Now, here's the reason. Not only did he sit out his rookie season, and that didn't really have so much to do with the ACL as that he was diagnosed with leukemia, with acute, and I had to make sure I get this right, acute promyelocytic leukemia. Only took me 3 times to get it, which basically is a white blood cell cancer. And after going through treatments and things like that, they did not know up until July of this year that he would be cleared to play. So not only did he suffer the ACL injury, he had this phenomenal career at Alabama, had an ACL injury right at the end of his career in college, and then he gets diagnosed right as he's getting ready to play with leukemia, with white blood cell cancer, and it's looking like he's not going to ever get to play again. And now he's going to get his moment in the sun this season. I have not had a chance to catch any Houston, Texas game yet to see how he is doing, but I would definitely be looking for him and looking up some of his highlights to see how he is doing, rooting him on, just like we rooted for Hamlin when he returned to the Bills. I want to see Mechie play. Yeah, he played for the Crimson Tide, but respect is respect, and the kid is a baller. And from a Dog fan to a member of the Crimson Tide, hey, much respect, brother. Wish you all the success in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's Rookie of the Week, Mr. John Mechie III. Thank you very much for your time. I will talk to you later. I have some garbage to go dispose of.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Akeem and Mr. Handy. We appreciate that. Yes, definitely be looking. It's always good when you can see a guy come back from something like that and be able to play still. So, yeah, best of luck to John Mechie III. So now we're going to move on to happy to hear. Exactly. Absolutely. 100%. We appreciate that. All right. So now it's time for the segment that I do, where I think I'm some sort of betting expert, and I pick 4 games every week for you guys to either laugh at me for or bet along with me or whatever you want to do. But we call this segment very simply Nick's Picks. Here it is. And 4 games I picked last week. I ended up going 2-2. So for the year right now, I'm 5-3, above 500. Looking to capitalize on that again this week. Obviously, I picked another 4 games. 4 just seems like a good number to pick every week, so I went with that. So my first game this week. Speaking of Anthony Handy's Falcons, they take on the Lions of Detroit this week. Now, there was a lot of games this week that I looked at and went, man, I don't know if I should touch that. And in the beginning, this was one of them because I thought, man, I think I'm rooting for the Falcons, obviously, because the Lions, again, the Lions are in our division. Wouldn't it be nice if Detroit was 1-2 after this week? And, I was looking at it, and finally I hemmed and hawed, and I finally said, yes, I'm going to go with this game because the Lions are favored by 4 points. They're giving up 4 points And again, I think I'm believing a little bit in Handy's Falcons. So I'm going to take the Falcons this game plus the 4 points for this week. I'm going to take Falcons plus the 4 points. Now, the next game. Tina, I apologize in advance for this. I hope our friendship is not affected when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. The Broncos are playing the Dolphins. Now, this was one of, for me, just for me, this was one of the easier games I looked at going, I could probably see this happening. The Dolphins are giving up 7 points to the Broncos. Now, I know what some people might say. Like, well, Denver, but they're 0-2, and they haven't looked great. Russ hasn't got it going, really. I mean, he's had some moments, of course. But the Dolphins, I think, are ready to come back out and, show that the offense they have. I mean, they got, Tyreek Hill didn't have a good game because Christian Gonzalez kind of shut him down for that, But I think this is the week Tyreek Hill decides that he wants to break out for a big game. So I'm going to take the Dolphins minus the 7 points against Tina's Broncos this week. My third game, Bucks Eagles. Now, to me, this is an interesting game because I think we all know the Bucks are 2-0. However that happened, they beat some team from Chicago last week. And the week before that, they beat some team from Minnesota. So they're 2-0 against the NFC North, which I think I've re-nicknamed the NFC Not because that's not happening for anybody. But in this game, the Eagles are a 6.5 point favorite. They're giving up 6.5. And call me crazy because I am. I actually think the Bucks could maybe keep this a close game. I know the Eagles have a good defense, but the Eagles' defense has been scored on. And as much as people will always say, well, Tom Brady's not there, blah, blah, Baker Mayfield, I've always been a fan of. And whether you like the kid or not, he's been pretty serviceable the last 2 weeks, and his team has won. So it's really hard to argue with the end result when it comes to something like that. So I'm going to go a little off the radar here, but I'm going to take the Bucks with the 6.5 points against the Eagles this week. And for my final game, Rams-Bengals. Now, the Bengals. What in the blue hell is going on there? Well, there's a question mark now about Mr. Joey Burrow possibly playing this week, re-injuring that injury he had in training camp. And the Rams, again, have looked good at times, and not but they have the number one receiver as far as receptions in Puka Nacua, which I like to call Cooper Kupp 2.0. But the Bengals, the Bengals are actually favored in this game, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know how to take that, so I took the Rams plus the 5.5 points that were listed in the thing. So I'm going to take the Rams plus 5.5. So just to recap real quickly, Falcons, Lions, I will take the Falcons plus 4. Broncos, Dolphins, I'll take the Dolphins in -7. Eagles, Bucks, I'll take the Bucks plus 6.5. And Rams, Bengals, I'll take the Rams plus 5.5. So those are Nick's picks for this week. Again, you can follow along. I'll let you know next week again how I did this week and give you my overall record. And then you guys can start making fun of me. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate all of you. So now that we're done with all that, we've come to me, one of my favorite parts of every show. We've come to not because it's ending, but because of the segment that comes at the end of our show. So, of course, as always, we end every show with one last thought. All right. Very good, very good, very good. So this week, actually, I'm going to go first, only because and with one last thought, I always go last, but hey, I'll give somebody else a chance to go last this week. My one last thought simply is this: celebrate every day. That's been my theme lately. I'm not going to lie. That's been kind of the way I've operated over the last probably 6 or 7 months. Just celebrate every day, man. Life is life. Things happen. Everybody's got good. Everybody's got bad. Things happen. This happens. That happens. But I've had a really good summer. I'm very grateful for that. New position at work, making a little bit more money, doing things I want to do. I've been all over the place. I've worked many a concert. I've done many a thing. I've gone out and just enjoyed whatever I could. So that's going to be my one last thought for today, is just celebrate life. I hope you're all having a great day, and I hope this week continues to be a good one for you. So that's my quick one last thought for this week. Tina, we'll go next to you since you're next to me on the screen. Go ahead, Tina. Give us one last thought.
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of yours. And one of my things is, I think, is and enjoy every day is travel. Find places you want to go. Travel, meet new people, try new cultures. Get out of Chicago it's a great city and I love it here. And in the summer, it's almost like you're down in Florida. I mean, the beaches and the weather and everything else is also hot as muggy, like it is down there too. But all of that, I mean, it's November, not even November, it's September. I can't even count now. My brain's fried from my rant earlier. It's September and I'm already planning my summer vacation next year. So
there you go.
mean, just travel. If you don't want to go internationally, go somewhere locally. Just don't go to Hawaii right now. That's all I ask. And so that's it. Travel, go see someone. If you like concerts, go to a concert in another city. I mean, Red Rocks is absolutely beautiful in Colorado, to give the plug to Denver. But there's so many good places to go and see. Like, one of my favorite places that I found recently was I went to, is it called the Big Green Monster that's in Boston? Fenway.
The Green Monster. Fenway Park.
Yeah, it was an amazing concert there. So just travel, do something, get out of town for a little while, get a new thought in your head, a new outlook on life. Or if you just want to do something close, go camp up in Wisconsin. I don't care.
No, hey, I love that. I look to do more traveling myself in the next couple of years, so I'm with you there, Tina. Delilah, how about you? One last thought for this week?
Yeah, we're coming on to spooky season. Woo, it's that time. I love Halloween. It's just fun. I love summer because I'm a summer child, but I love fall too. I love the changing of the leaves. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like that. Well, for those of us who have the seasons, because I know it's not the same everywhere. But you know what I mean? Like, those of us who see the foliage change, But no, I like spooky season. I think, Halloween is just a lot of fun. And I'm excited about the season of, spookiness. Let people enjoy it, whether it's gory or not, right? Because there's also fun spooky, and then there's like, and I like both. I'm in the middle. Like, I like horror films, and I like horror stuff. But I also like the cutesy stuff, like, you know what I mean? So, like, just enjoy the season, have fun out there, and I'm excited about this weekend. I get to bond with you guys, in person. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, check in with, I like checking in with people. I know we can't always hang out. It's hard to connect, but there's always ways to just stay in touch, right? Like, life happens. I never hold any grudge about people who are just busy with their lives. I'm not one of those people, just so you know. So if you're out there and you're busy and we haven't hung out in a while, that's fine. I'll always respond to a text. And we go out for coffee one day, it's fine. Whatever it is, I get it. And I know when I see, I guess the thing is because I see posts like that sometimes of like, well, if you don't look for me, I'm not going to look for you. And it's like, why even post that? Like, people are busy. People have lives. Like, it's not always malicious, right? Like, you can tell, you know what I mean? There's a difference between someone like outright, like, just, I don't want to talk to him, to just like, they're busy. You know what I mean? People have lives that have things going on. There's no vendetta. No one's out to get you. It's just people have lives and they have other things going on, and it's hard to balance everything, And so give people a chance. Don't shut people out unless they're toxic. Then yes, I agree. Always cut toxic people out. They don't help you in any way, shape, or form. However, if they're not toxic and they kind of go away for a while and they come back, just be okay with it. Sometimes people just need that break and they just get busy and stuff. Nothing's ever done on purpose. Like, that's a difference. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's toxic, yes, stay away from that. And then there's like, people just are trying to balance everything. And if you don't hear from them for a while, but they pop back up, there's no reason to say, hey, what's up? How's it going? There's nothing wrong with doing that. So just keep your friendships as we get older. Maybe because I'm in my 40s, you know what I mean? It's just you look at things a little different. It's like people have other things going on. It doesn't mean they hate you. Doesn't mean they're ignoring you. It's just they got stuff going on. All right. So just kind of take the spooky season and maintain your friendships, even if sometimes you just don't hear from people in a while. Doesn't mean they're gone forever. Okay. That's all.
Nope, no problem. No, that's good. Thank you very much for that. And you're right. And I know I'm not ignoring anyone. No, I'm teasing. But I will see you guys later. Anthony Handy, sir. You are the finale this week. Hit us with it, brother. One last thought.
Eat the food. Eat the food. Do the things. Dance all the dances. Hug all the peoples. Pet all the animals, but not all the animals, because some of y'all take petting the animals too far, and then that's when you wind up on one of them dumb ways to die videos, like the people, that there was a video that popped up this week, and they took the advice that I've just put out there a little too literally. They literally chased down a grizzly bear on a safari. Like the bear came out with the mama and the cubs, not just any bear, a mama bear with her cubs, and the video cut before it got to the end. I'm pretty sure I got an idea.
Because that was a massacre.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, but
you're right though.
Take some time in your life. The reason I say that is take some time in your life to not be so serious all the time. I mean, we come on here and we rant, and I know some of y'all think, are they that angry all the time? No, we just like that for the show. But we all have days. We all have days when we want to call our one friend, and everybody should have that one friend that's got an envelope buried in the backyard somewhere that you call them at 2:00 in the morning. Go, I need you to dig the envelope up because I'm getting ready to, go down to the county. But learn to not take life so serious all the time. Find you something. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, but find you something to help you not take life so serious. So if you like watching reruns of the Golden Girls, oh wait, that's me. But if you like if you just find yourself something to do. Oh yes, absolutely. To feed the cat, Rose. That's one of my favorites. Oh, what's the other one? Girls, there's a busload of Greek sailors outside. They want to know how many drachma it is in $8. Y'all they know exactly the episode I'm talking about. It was just on last night. Find yourself something.
I love it.
My favorite, I can't say over the line.
No. What's the other one? Tell me, Rose. Did they ever shoot a herring out of a cannon?
Boyfriend.
Oh,
the hairy one was great though.
I'm sorry. It is still debated to this day whether or not that was scripted or whether that was.
She said that she made up a lot of those stories from St. Olaf. Like Betty White was that good. Such a comedic.
That's the one I'm talking about. You can literally see all three of them.
So I think you're right, Handy.
Losing their minds.
They said she would make up a lot of that stuff. Like she would just be like, what's my St. Olaf story today?
This reminds me of the time when I was a little girl in St. Olaf.
Yeah.
But find yourself a hobby. Like right now, right now, 4 or 5 years ago, I don't know Nick, Delilah, and Tina, if you all knew each other then, but I knew none of you 3 years ago. And then just by happenstance, I got it, and so now this is what I do, and I have fun, and I come on here. I could get off of here right now. As soon as I say goodnight to everybody, be like, I kill every MFR in here. I almost said the whole word. But find yourself something to do that channels into whatever inner silliness. Remember when you were kids and you'd be like, Mom, can I have something to eat? And she'd give you a couple of like 3-4 Oreo cookies and a glass of Kool-Aid, and the Kool-Aid had the one glass, which was like 9 ounces, had like 32 ounces of sugar in it, and then you would drink that crap, and then you would just run it in circles and into the wall, and to the point where your parents wanted to kill you. Channel that inner silly and find it and have fun. You know why? Because there's no guarantee tonight when all of you go to sleep, somebody somewhere is not going to get up. I don't mean to be somber, but there's a lot of people that started 2023 with us that are not here right now. And it's going to be some more that's not going to make it to December. So while you got it, get after it. Have a good time, because the last thing you want to do is be on that bed going, Man, I wish I had watched the Golden Girls one last time before I had, because them folk crazy, them folk nuts on that show had said that the show was pretty. She said something about a herring, and now I'm never gonna get to hear the St. Olaf stories. Yeah, that's your own fault. So watch them tonight. They on Hallmark right now, and they're gonna be on until Frasier come on at 1 a.m. Now, I said, that's the only thing about Hallmark that I watch is Golden Girls, and Frasier, and then on the weekend sometimes Reba comes on. The working mom that works too hard.
I like Reba. I thought Reba's show was great. I love Reba.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I absolutely love that show, and it's so funny to me how much the son that married the daughter. I always confuse him with Ashton Kutcher because both of them are decent looking and dumb as boxes of rocks. But find yourself something. I said it out loud on NFL talk football. Let's talk football. Damn, I can't remember the name of the show. Let's talk football on Roundtable on a Tuesday night. I said it right here. And if you got something to say about it, you can't do nothing but take this big hot flaming ale. You know what? I cooked this fresh. It was a leftover one. I took it to Colorado to go see Coach Prime. Coach said he had handed out plenty of them to CSU. So I got this one right here left over for you if you want it. Anyway, enjoy your life. Have fun. Don't sit around and then be mad you didn't enjoy it, and definitely don't sit around and be mad at other people that are enjoying theirs. If they're enjoying theirs, let them go enjoy it. Maybe if you enjoy George, you wouldn't be so mad they're enjoying theirs. And that's about where I'm gonna stop, because I could rant for another 15 minutes on this, and I'm having fun with it. So I'm gonna stop it while the wagon is starting to slow down. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the brake and say thank y'all very much for letting me put my crazy out tonight, and I'm gonna turn my microphone off.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to turn your microphone off, Handy, but all right. What's that?
Handy, Frasier's coming back in a new series.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw it.
I did see that, too. I was like, another reboot of Frasier. Let's do it.
He's going to drive his son crazy now. I love it.
Oh, baby, I hear the blues calling.
That Thanksgiving episode, I'm fine.
The Thanksgiving episode, Niles thinks his wife is cheating and has a fencing duel with her fencing instructor. And Roz meets Roger's parents and finds out that they both have the Cyrano de Bergerac going on. Yeah.
And then BB Newirth's character is back, and they burn the turkey and the dog.
They always bring her back. I love her.
Yeah.
She's the best. I love BB Newirth.
All right.
Anyway, now we're going off course. Listen.
No. Well, that's why I say, we could probably go on for hours just on this alone, right? This is why I love doing this show, though, honestly, because we genuinely enjoy talking to each other. We genuinely enjoy being on here, and I hope that comes across to everybody who's listening. Again, thank you, everyone, for watching and commenting. We absolutely appreciate it. So, another Tuesday in the books. Thank you very much. We will be back next Tuesday around the same time to give you more of this. So, for Tina Winter, Anthony Handy, and Delilah Crespo, I'm Nick Rosario. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you. Bye.